Okay, in the database, open up the customers table and look at the name column. Its type is nvarchar of max and it's nullable, as you can see here. Earlier, I told you that there are a few conventions built into Entity Framework which are used to determine the schema of the database. In our customer class, the name property is a string. In C#, the string type is nullable, and there is no limit in terms of the number of characters you can store in it. And that's why Entity Framework defined this name column as nullable and set its type to nvarchar of max. Now let me show you how you can override these default conventions. So in Solution Explorer, open up Models, open the customer class. Above the name property, we apply a data annotation or an attribute called required. This annotation is defined in this namespace. So if you're not using ReSharper, type using system.componentModel.dataAnnotations. Now with this attribute, our column name will no longer be nullable. We can apply a second attribute here, string length, and specify the maximum number of characters, like 255 characters. So this approach of overriding default conventions is called data annotations. It's simple, but it has limitations. We also have another approach called Fluent API, which is really beyond the scope of this section. So if you want to learn either of these approaches in detail, it's best to check out my Entity Framework course on Udemy. Now back to Package Manager console. We need to create a new migration because we have changed our domain model. So add migration, apply annotations to customer name, and then update database. Beautiful. Now let's go back to SQL Server Object Explorer. Now right-click the columns folder in customers table, refresh. Look at the name column. It's nvarchar of 255 characters and it's not nullable. Next, we're going to look at how to query objects using Entity Framework.